you cook Belizean, healthy and easy with more veggies instead of more starch.
It's healthier, of course. Cost effective is very cheap. Go to the market, buy your fresh veggies and cook it. Cook it easy and tasty recipes.
As Belizeans, we don't really eat healthy, a lot of us. We have a lot of diabetic patients. People are dying a lot. What I learned today, how to eat, how to stay healthy, and what to do about it.
A lot of people call in and say, we're good for headache. They want a quick fix, but headache actually is a red light telling you something is wrong. But sometimes we don't study it, we just take our pills. You can't just change overnight, right? So you have to implement this stuff little by little.
Making some healthy brown rice with healthy salt, not the white salt that we normally cook with.
The vegetables and everything that we serve, we think pure, whole and natural.
To me, you could do this real quick.
Yep.
It's very quick to do.
Today we show them to stay pure, whole and natural.
Here we teach them how to fix vegetables and fruits in a delicious way so they can have it.
A lot of people don't know how to use it, but today I learned that I'm taking something in my heart to teach to my family and my community.
They actually cook it and they taste it. They were very impressed and they said, wow, this is really delicious and we never think this can be done. And we are encouraging people to come here at Maya Mountain and we will gladly share what we know.
When certain things happen, we have to take a stand and see what happens.
Good morning. This is Bart Michler with Let's Live Healthy Belize. We are in the studios here at Max TV and Radio in San Ignacio, Belize, and we have people following us on TV and radio between Belmopan down to Benki. I understand on Facebook Live we have people following us around the world, and we appreciate those who have been emailing in or texting in. If you are interested in communicating with us, the number here is 674-1919. That's my personal number. We would love to get a text during the program, and maybe we can answer some of your questions. In the studio today, we're going to have two guests. They're just arriving. Please come on in, Zinga and Eunice. And they're going to be explaining a little bit about some programs that they have started, and we're really excited about that. Okay, come in, have a seat, Miss Eunice, as soon as you can. Zinga, nice to have you on our program again. You've been here many times. There's a microphone right there. You just grab that and we'll be on. Okay, please introduce yourself, Miss Zinga.
Good morning, good morning. Bart, thank you for having me on your show again.
Well, really a pleasure. It's been like three or four times already, and over the last 2 years.
Yes.
It's always a joy. And with you, you have Eunice Clark. Good morning, Eunice.
Hey, good morning, and thank you for having us on the show.
Well, I understand you have something to share with us today, so I'm really looking forward to hearing more about that, and I'm sure the audience and viewers are. Please tell us a little bit about your background, Eunice, while you're here. If you can hold the microphone a little bit closer, we'll all hear you. There we go.
Okay. Well, I'm retired. I'm a registered nurse, retired, in holistic health, which includes everything, body, mind, and spirit. And right now we're in Bullet Tree, having a clinic that to help people to help themselves. Mainly education, quite a lot of educational programs, as well as doing some hands-on healing. We are also teaching special courses of helping people to know what is about nutrition as well as their bodies. because in these days, I think knowledge is power.
Okay, and the name of your facility out there in Bullet Tree Falls?
It's the Holistic Institute of Healing.
Okay, all right. It's a mouthful. Okay, that sounds good. And Zinga, what do you do? What is your little bit of background? We're going to get into more detail later, but I just wanted to introduce, this talent and facility that we have. This program, Let's Live Healthy Belize, is designed to connect people with other people who are that might be helpful to them in terms of their health. And so that's why we have you on the program, because both of you are really talented with years of experience and have something to offer that you're doing right now.
Yes. Well, I'm retired, and I've come here from the U.S. to this beautiful paradise of Belize. And what I was doing before I left the U.S., I had put together a program called Nzinga's Healing Foods, because I felt the need for people to be able to, live healthy. And I wanted to share some things that that had helped me, and so I developed a program where we don't try to tell you that you need to be a vegetarian, you need to be a this or that, but the thing is that we do need to be able to eat healthy, and I found Belize to be a place where you could definitely easily live a healthy lifestyle, and so it's very important to include good food into your body. So my program allows someone to be able to incorporate at least 3 or 4 times a day some healthy food. If you don't want to, right now give up, eating your meats and, other things, your tortillas and so forth, but at least incorporate enough fruits and vegetables into your diet that you're still, working towards being healthy. And then, of course, over time that you will see that you will feel your body is different, and you would want to, start dropping off some things that are not so healthy for you. So my program is customized to the person's, lifestyle, and you can have deliveries, twice a week, once a week. But I just give you healthy foods, we do salads, we do natural fruits and vegetables, fresh fruit. Sometimes, you don't want to chop up your own, chop up a watermelon or cantaloupe or jicama, but I prepare that for you, so you just have it ready, so there's no excuse for you just to be able to eat something healthy.
So it's food counseling and a meal plan, custom made, and then the delivery,
yes,
or the
yes,
preparation and the delivery of healthy meals,
to
all ready to go.
Incorporate that, so because it's a lifestyle, so it's not something, it's not a diet, it's a lifestyle, so it's to help you to develop a healthy lifestyle of eating.
I think a lot of people
with no dogma, not telling you, well, you need to be this, you need to be that,
Right.
Live your life, but live a healthy life.
Got it. All right. So we have a lot of people who have come on the program over the last couple of years, and pretty universally it comes back to eating quality ingredients and doing it in a variety, a good variety on the plate, and customized a little bit for what your special needs are. But in general, it comes right back to making sure you're not eating toxins and that the sources are good.
Exactly.
So. I noticed that there's a flyer. In fact, you sent me this, that there's an event coming up, a Holistic Institute of Healing, Wellness Resource, Reflexology Training, Well-Being Program. Which one of you would like to speak to this?
I'll let Ms. Eunice be the lead on this.
Okay.
Okay, the reflexology training.
What is reflexology?
First of all, reflexology is, it's like a massage for the feet and the hands. Why the feet, why the hands? Now it's because in our feet and as well as in our hands and other parts of the body, including the ear, there are points of clusters of nerves that are connected to the internal organs. That's to just put it as simply as possible. So we've designed a program, and it's really to help. It can, the advantage of it is for helping people to feel better, not just emotionally feeling, but to feel healthy. So it's a program that is something to learn about this type of massage for the feet and the hands, to assist people to be able to relax. Once you have a treatment, or once you learn how to do it, because we want to empower people. We want to teach you how to use this type of massage for your legs, for your arms, and it also helps the whole part of the body to relax, as well as it eases pain. If you're doing it on yourself as well as others, there are certain points in the feet that you will also find you massage that, and then you'll be able to alleviate the pain and the suffering that you're having. It also helps to drain the lymphatic system in our body, as well as increase circulation. So we're encouraging people to join the class. It's quite inexpensive, and even if you do not have the full amount of money to start the program, you can still come. Because the knowledge, as I said, knowledge is power, and we want everyone to know how to do it for themselves as well as to help other people.
That sounds very interesting. I ran into reflexology, I think, 35 years ago, which I guess I was really excited and got involved with it myself a little bit, and my wife. But I've learned that it's all over the world. Everybody in every culture seems to have some aspect of it, and yet I understand that a lot of it is refined in a big way in China. Is that correct? Could you share a little bit about how old is this practice and how developed is it?
Well, the reflexology has been around since for eons of times. Egyptians, they have found that even started looking for as far back as the Egyptian mummies and even the Egyptian gods, they were using some form of massage of reflexology of the feet as well as the hands and the ears. In India, reflexology has come full circle. They used to do it way up in the mountains as treatment for people who were tired and walking up and down, going to retreats and going to several places. And this was one of the healing arts that they used. In China, reflexology is even alive and well right now. Chinese medicine, reflexology is part of their treatment, a great part of it, in helping to drain the body tissues, helping to drain the lymphatic system, as well as creating healing for the internal organs. So here it is in the Western world, and now it's in Belize, so take the opportunity to be there.
Well, Eunice, I understand that detoxing the body is a big part of your expertise, and this is just one aspect of that. You're referring to the lymphatic system.
Yes.
I understand that is the system that drains the toxins.
That drains the toxins and drains the body.
And there's quite a study of that. I mean, I've heard of naturopathy. I've heard of many different studies or schools of healing that revolve around that whole idea.
Yes. At the clinic, we also use not only reflexology. Every person who comes can have a taste of that. We also do lymphatic draining, which is like in skin brushing, in touching certain parts of the feet and certain parts of the legs and the arms, and it really drains the system, which prevents and even assists people, you know, once you start moving around, showing you how to do this drainage, and creates a lot of the release of the toxins, because things that create, sometimes you get pain and you really don't know where it's come from or what it is. You didn't have an injury. So then it's deeper than that, you know. So we would like to share this with everyone. Maybe at another time we'll be able to present an entire program on this detoxification, including the drainage of lymphatic system.
Well, okay, we're going to touch on that a little bit today. We have a whole hour, and I know that you are anxious to share about that program and also about the healing foods. We're going to sort of go back and forth a little bit, but you're both very interesting people, and just to move away from all, at least to me, I mean, I've heard your stories a little bit, but each time I'm inspired, and I think we'll just take a little move away from the technical part of what you do, and just a little bit of your journey about, were you always interested in natural healing? I understand, Eunice, you have a master's in nursing. I mean, you've had that whole other side of things, and as a young girl, you were born in Guyana?
Yes, I was born in Guyana, South America, which is similar, very, very similar to Belize. Belize is a small replication of what Guyana looks like and what it felt like as I was growing up. During the time of, I won't tell you my age, but during the time of growing up, it was, medicines were very scarce. And I was a very sick child at 9 years of age. So there was nothing. They left me there to die. And of course, by the grace of God and the healing herbs and massages and all those kinds of things, I remember my dad taking me to an Indian man in our village. And this man, he was renowned in doing massages. And, through that I came through. And then I became interested in the herbs because that's all we had on our farm. We had lots of herbs, lots of green vegetables. And every time something is wrong with the kids or anybody who comes, then my mother would send us to go get the herbs and pick the herbs, and we had to bring it and make tea and, those different kinds of things. So here in Bullitree and here in Belize, we are offering these same types of things. Similar, it's not as advanced, but there are lots of herbal treatments and lots of home remedies that we can share with you. And we'd love to do it because this is a time that we need to all share our information, share our knowledge, and help not only those who are suffering, but also help the youngsters that are coming along. We have to leave a legacy for each other. And therefore, that's why we're here, right?
Well, okay, I understand you did go to England to study as a nurse,
Yes.
as a young girl. How old were you when you left Guyana?
I was 15.
Wow.
When I left Guyana, trying to explore the world. And
So you left alone, right?
Yes.
Wow.
I got a full scholarship to study whatever I wanted to, and nursing was something that was in my path, and I wanted to do that. So I went ahead and did that. Many a times, as a teenager, it was too serious for me at that time, but I continued. And as my parents told me when I called back home, I said, I want to leave, I want to come back home. They said, no, you leave here, and therefore you have to accomplish what you started.
That's pretty impressive. 15-year-old going alone to England and studying a program of nursing. And where did you get your master's?
I got my master's in America.
Okay.
And then, other supplemental studies and so on in naturopath and holistic health mainly. And I enjoyed every part of it.
Sounds like a
and
journey.
in doing that, after my postmasters and even in the doctoral work, then what I found, I could marry. I can put a marriage between the regular medicine, the medical treatments, as well as healing through the arts, through the holistic approaches. And that's what we're doing now.
Well, we're really happy to have you in our area and to call on you, and now you're doing trainings and things so people can jump in and get introduced to different aspects of healing. Can I ask you, Zinga, to share a little of your journey? I'm sure that the audience is interested in hearing how in the world did you come to Belize. Both of you, I know Eunice has been here many years now. You've been here some years now. How long? 2 years? 3 years?
Oh, I wish it was, but no. Well, I've been traveling back and forth, for the past 2 or 3 years, but I've been solidly being here for a little over a year now.
Okay.
So I've made it my home, and my background is actually in retail. Well, I'll go back a little further.
I can see the stylishness. You're
Yeah.
dressed very nicely.
Oh, when the lifestyle for us, these kind of things, they kind of came together. When I left my parents' home, at that point is when I changed my lifestyle as far as my eating habits and so forth. Because, when you're at home with your parents, you cook what your mother puts on the table. But when I was stepping out on my own, I changed my lifestyle and I changed my diet. But eventually I had, moved on, and I ended up going to school, and I got a bachelor's degree in computer management science.
Okay.
And I came and I worked in that industry for a while, but it just wasn't pleasing to me. And so eventually I was laid off, and I said, well, okay, well, I will never let anyone else determine my destiny for me. And so I used my God-given talents, which was sewing and dancing. And so I moved back to my hometown. I was living in Colorado at the time. That's where I got my degree. And I determined to just use my God-given talents. And I started dancing and sewing. And I developed a store in Zinga's Cultural Connection. And I put together, along with some other people, a dance ensemble called Griot's Wild Moja, which was an African drumming and dancing organization. And I continue to take care of myself and my children, with those items. But my business with the clothing and accessories, it grew and grew, so I eventually stopped dancing. And I had the business in Zinga's Culture Connection for 38 years.
Well,
and
that's a long time.
But during that, my store became a ministry. Because I continued to have programs, for the community, and during those programs, I would also talk about, it's not just, dressing yourself up to look nice. You have to make sure that you eat right. So I would bring speakers in and talk about, eating. I would bring speakers to talking about exercising is important, and things like that. So, and then eventually the Spirit just said, I could no longer continue to just dress these people on the outside, make them look nice on the outside. It's something more inside. And through talking to all my customers, like I said, it became a ministry. People used to come and talk to me about, the issues and, ask me questions and things like that, because I was very involved in my community. And Spirit just says, it's time for me to do something else. So eventually I closed my store. And I started working on Zinga's Healing Foods. So I developed clients and setting up programs to try to help people, not just, externally, but internally, to be able to, to make them more whole. Because it's not about, how I look on the outside, what clothing I have on, the new earrings, the new pocketbook, those type of things. It's really what's going on inside, and that's what brings longevity to the life, and that's what brings, joy and peace, to your spirit. So I eventually started doing programs like that, and continue to work in the community to teach the young people how to dance, and also at that time you teach them culture, you teach them self-esteem, you teach them so just to continue to to help them to develop. And after a while, this just became a very nice thing. I developed a good list of clientele, and I used to just make up different cute little things, the way I used to deliver the foods, and creative ways of presenting it. And of course, the most important thing in food is that it must taste good, because a lot of people think if I eat something healthy, it's not going to taste good. And so I developed a really nice flavor for my food, and people just loved it. And so again, the important part was not for me to tell them to do this or do that. You don't have to become, because I think labels are just labels. That's all they are. And then people, when you say I'm a this, I'm a that, then people have expectations for you. And I think it's very important for people to live according to their own desires, and not to live according to what others have expectations for of you. So I developed my program in a way that it's to inspire and to empower someone to eat healthy, and over time you'll feel the difference. You'll see that your body, as your waist will be different. Coming out, your skin will look different, and you just feel better overall. So it's a decision for someone themselves to develop this as a lifestyle, and not to just say I'm just going on a diet, I'm just going to do this temporarily, but to develop yourself. And sometimes, this is a busy life. In America it's very busy. I love here being Belize because it's a much more relaxed atmosphere, and plus you have access to so much good, natural foods here. But in the U.S., it's a very busy life. That they say that you should have, and sometimes people don't have the time. You're working all day. You don't have the time to to prepare the foods, because you have to chop them up, or you have to just do certain things to them. And so I was there for those people who desired to want to be healthier, but someone didn't have the time to do it, or the knowledge. So
well, you live
I was
in
blessed to be able to do that.
you guys live in Bullet Tree right now. And,
yes, we go from Bullet Tree.
So it's a little bit more relaxed than it is in other parts of the country. Some places the people are moving sort of fast, and they don't have time to fix things. And it is nice to have that resource here. Like you say, we are more relaxed in Belize, but it is getting faster paced. Many more people have jobs, and what I've noticed is there's more women in UB, for instance, than there are men. I was told that, and that means that there's going to be more women in the workforce, for sure, not people at home fixing meals for family. And so that rushed environment is here. It is here. We see it. And
I'm here available to assist them with that.
All right. Well, I'm gonna let you explain a little bit, Eunice, about this new program. For those who have come in late, the program runs an hour, and it's prime time, so people are actually on their way to work, and they're tuning in, tuning out, and so I'd like you just to repeat a little bit about what you're doing. And while you're doing that, I'm going to fight with this chair. It just lowered my. It didn't lower my self-esteem, but it did humble me a little bit.
I thought maybe you wanted just to come down on our level.
No, that's all right.
Where direct eye contact.
That's okay. That works too. I'll stay right here. Anyway, Eunice, you were just sharing about a program that's going to be happening. We didn't really get around to the dates and those things, so I get a little more details. So we know a little bit about the two of you. Well, we're very lucky to be in San Ignacio area, and more and more resources are coming in here, and they're willing to share it often. And you all have both proven that to those who know you, that you're sharing people, and like you said, even if you don't have the full finances, you want them there to be able to self-help themselves. So tell us about this course.
Okay, this course in learning to feel better through the massage of your feet and hands. That's really the message I want to give off to everyone. It's not only for you to just go and do a full body massage and say, oh, I can't do it. Now you can get to your feet, you can get to your hands. There are points that you will learn. So the first part of the program, what a student will learn is the basic principles and the concepts that's developed around this type of healing massage. What happens is that we know, and it has already been researched and proven, that there are parts of the hands and the feet that you can press, and you can massage it very lightly, and still it invigorates, it stimulates, as well as it helps the internal organs to rejuvenate, to get better. Okay, that's the first part. And that is at least 2 classes, 2 or 3 sessions, because we want people to understand what the principles and the concepts of doing this. It's not just a play therapy. I want to just divert a little bit. There are times that even in raising our children and in babies, when we massage their feet, we massage their hands, they're so relaxed. They become calm, they're happier kids, and as well as, especially in time of illness for young people and children, you can practice this. You may not know what points you're doing or you're touching, but you can practice this, and you'll see some results. The other part that a person will learn in the class is how to relieve pain and help themselves to relax. Although we are in a community and we are in a society now that is developing to become as I want to say, just to rush on like the Western world, we still have to be quite aware of what's going on in our body and how to keep the body safe, how to keep it with as minimal stress as possible. Sometimes aches and pains just come up and you don't know where it's from. You don't have to really know, but do something about it. And once you do something about it, then this is one tool that you can use, and you can use it quite effectively without even going to somebody else. The other thing is a hands-on type of therapy. It's a hands-on practice, something that a person can learn those techniques, and then from learning those techniques, then you can do it for yourself. And if you think that it's not as effective, then get somebody else and teach them and let them go on and do it. I look at teaching and passing on information as like, it's similar to the ripple effect. We throw a little rock in the water and then we see the bubbles just going around. We really don't know where it's going. So with the ripple effect, you can help yourself and help others. The other part of this training, or for working massaging the hands and feet, then there are points, places that you can touch. And once you touch it, it will release not only the pain in the feet, but it will also help to stimulate the important organs in the inside of the body that will really, really send off some endorphins or what we call like enzymes or hormones, and help to stimulate them for your body. It's really, really good for diabetics, persons who are suffering from arthritis, persons who are even having bouts of cancer and degenerative types of problems in their bodies, as well as it's really, really good for tired feet and tired hands and tired minds and tired heads. So you come on and join us. The fee is nominal, and as I said before, that even if a person cannot afford the full cost, then come on and let's talk about it. And just even we're there because the principle and the main fact of wanting to share this information, it's not a matter of selling it. It's a matter of you doing it and learning and leaving with a smile and being able to help yourself and help others.
If somebody wanted to sign up, could you give the number very clearly, so that, and we'll repeat it over and over again, so that people can call you, talk to you, explore whether they want to take it. You know, the show will be over in a little while, but we want people to stay in connection with you. Additional to this program is being recorded on Facebook Live. So maybe a half hour after the program is over, it's going to be on a Facebook page called Let's Live Healthy Belize, and you'll be able to go there, and if you like the program, you can share it with your friends. So sometimes hundreds of shares can occur after a program is over. So this program finishes at 9, but the Facebook Live will be shared onward, and you too can share it with people who call in also. For instance, if they give you their Facebook name, and they'll be able to share it over to them. So either way it works, and so please give the numbers, the information, and the dates. This starts February what?
February 15th.
February 15th. There's going to be an orientation, because what we want to do is to see, because there are many classes that are involved in this process, and so what we want to do is to see what's going to be the best day for the group that are interested. And so on the we must ask you that you must attend a orientation that's going to be on February the 15th, and that's going to be in Bulletry at Ms. Eunice's clinic, the Holistic Institute of Healing. In order to ask questions, you could just give us a call. Either call Ms. Eunice at 501-650-2252, or 622-3318. And it's my number and Ms. Eunice's number to call us to ask us questions. So I'll repeat that again. The two numbers to ask questions and to get more information is 650-2252 and 622-3318. So I think this is a wonderful thing. I'm blessed to be able to come to Bullet Tree and to be able to have met Ms. Eunice. Her institute has been here for many, many years, I think about 16, 18 years. And so the two of us, with my background and with the healing foods and the holistic healing that she does, there are some things that we marry together, and are both, excited about being able to help the community with these things. So again, if you want any to have information about Nzinga's Healing Foods, 622-3318, and the additional number is 650-2252.
If they are watching Facebook Live and they don't want to pay for an international text or call, is there an email that they could email either one of you and connect?
Oh, yeah, of course. The email is ESSAI. Let me repeat that. It says E as in Edward, S as in Sam, S as in Sam, A as in Apple, I as in Igloo, 963, C as in Cat, at yahoo.com. Eunice Clark, we both have Facebook pages, so you can contact us there. There is a Facebook page for the Holistic Institute of Healing. Me personally, since I'm just new here, I'm just now setting up the page, but there is a page for Nzinga's Healing Food on Facebook. So Nzinga's Healing Foods could be contacted on Facebook, and the Holistic Institute of Healing also has a Facebook page. So yeah, so just give us a call.
So we're broadcasting here from San Ignacio at the station for Max TV and radio, and I was asked to do this program a couple years ago, and it's on health, and you both have been on our program several times, and many other people, and we do get some positive comments back, because I think people appreciate that they're connecting with sources and solutions to their problems. Many, many people are suffering either emotionally or physically, and they're just trying to find a connection that's affordable, that's not going to have side effects, that's natural, and there aren't too many places to turn. And I appreciate Mike Salazar, as the owner of the station, for offering this opportunity. We do not get paid, we're volunteers, at least I am not, and so I do appreciate that a lot, and we get a lot of feedback from people who say the same. So we want to make sure that every week we have something interesting. We come on at 8 o'clock and we go off at 9, and I'd like to actually take a minute or two at each program to mention other sources besides our guests. Those who live in the area of San Ignacio know that Judy DePluy and her group have the Bliss Botanical Gardens, and the gardens now have a shop in San Ignacio, and they have a health food store, but it's the one that really has that focus on foods. They don't sell supplements, really. They are all about connecting you with good, healthy grains, and they have a few health items, but mostly it's about getting nuts, seeds, grains that are not poisoned. And so they've got the wheat berries also, and they'll grind fresh wheat flour for you. In Belize we say wheat flour, it's as if that's the only flour there is, but those who live on the coast know there's cassava flour and banana flour and other flours, and of course Eunice, you come from Guyana, where they probably have cassava flour, yam flour. Okay, so different places around the world, some places don't have even wheat hardly, because it's so expensive and it's so old by the time it gets there. Many of us have had the experience of grinding coffee and fresh ground coffee beans, and can you imagine what it would be to have organic wheat berries freshly ground, and you go home from the shop with them warm, actually from the mill. So you go in and you say, I'd like 2 pounds, and they'll either have it bagged up already, or if you ask them to grind it fresh, they can do that for you. as long as they have time. And it's so flavorful, and all the nutrition is there, and it's whole grain. And this is that term that we don't know much in Belize, the whole grain, because we're not aware that much of the wheat flour we buy, the white flour, has lost maybe 85–90% of its nutrients. And why? It's because it's handier for the merchants. The merchants can store it on the shelf. It doesn't have all those nutrient parts that spoil faster.
Yes.
So if any of you have bought whole wheat flour before, it's been ground weeks before. We buy it, and we often put it in the freezer if we're afraid it's going to spoil, because also bugs will get into it faster because it's really nutritious.
Yes.
If the bugs have a choice of going to whole wheat or white flour, you know which one they're going to go to. They know the ones that are going to allow them to grow and prosper and reproduce. So there you have it. The merchants would love you eating white flour, and then we end up doing white flour for our children, and the merchants are deciding, not us. And it's sort of, I can't blame the merchants completely. It's the whole food industry is designed for their convenience and their profits. And until we wake up and realize, hey, we're in charge of what is going to be, we do have choices. We just have to try a little harder. So in this program, we're sharing with you, if you drop in, it's where Yolu's Pizza used to be, where the old mall in San Ignacio is. And right next door, right on the corner, is the Belize Botanical Gardens shop. And they sell plants, but they also sell all kinds of grains and good foods, and some healthy, like toothpaste that doesn't have toxins and things like that. So it's interesting. Go see about it. There are other people who are selling coconut water around town. We encourage that. It's a really big thing for your health. I visited the U.S. recently and saw what they have up there. It's so expensive. It's sweetened. It's been pasteurized. I doubt if it has any of the value anymore in it. But
nutrients is what you need.
And fresh is so key. And so we're living in paradise. We just go down to the market area on a Saturday or any day. I think Miss August is selling with her truck there, and you pay about $10, I think, Belize. $5 US for a gallon of coconut water.
How can you beat that?
Yeah, and around towns, everybody's got their own, secret place they get it. But we want you to know that if you don't have one, try by the market. And there are other people that are. We find that we can keep it for about 3 days in the fridge, and so we buy it twice a week. My wife and I think we use a gallon each a week. I think my grandson takes another gallon, so we're helping the economy here in San Ignacio with the coconut. But there are other places around that are opening up. We're going to be having also a lady very soon that has snacks. I think she bought the company from Chris Lowe some 2 or 3 years ago, and we know that he's been doing that for 20 years or so. So as we get a little older, we pass it on to somebody else, and this gets to grow that way. So I appreciate that. We're all over 50 sitting here in this room.
Yes, we are.
And it's important to legacy that you mentioned to be sharing. Which brings around another subject, and we're just talking on a more elevated level, purpose in life. We talk about healing and retiring, and people who have retired, and you see that they're gone within a year or two. They were very healthy in their job place. They retire, and they thought they were going to fish every day, and they get bored of that, and the grandkids live somewhere else, and they're gone. I think it's really important that people find a purpose in their life and volunteer. Absolutely. Or if that purpose can be to be the best grandparents there ever was, or best auntie. Any of you would like to comment on that subject? It's just another aspect of that health thing. It's so mind, body, spirit. Well, this is almost...
Well, I can just briefly touch on that. I just think that it's so important, and this is kind of how I transitioned. That I definitely went to college, got a degree, and you see that's what I chose to do. But God had different direction for me, and I finally had closed my store after 38 years and started getting into healing and sharing. And so we do have a purpose in life, and I think it's in anything that we do, it's really a holistic thing. It's mind, body, and soul. So it's important that we, we have to take care of this vessel that we're in, this spacesuit that we live in. We have to have our mind and our spirit, clear, and just be. Life is really just about being. And it's not about, saying I have this or I drive this kind of car, or I live in a certain neighborhood, and, all these external things. And I think the society all over the world has gotten into a thing where external things are more important. And I used to have this sign in my room that says the most important things in life are not things. That really it's about, life. It's about this human part that we've come here to do, because we're really not human beings. We are spiritual beings having a human experience. Because some people say I'm a human having a spiritual experience, but I don't believe, in my belief, it's not that. We are really spiritual beings having a human experience, because the spirit is here. We are spirits, and our spirits will live on after we finish this human experience. Will go on, and so it's important to be still, to have a good heart. To do simple things, do unto others as you would have them do unto you. To be helpful to others. That karma thing is so important. So really, because society has taught us this and taught us that, it's if you take the time to really get to know yourself, that you could really find out that wow, there's a lot more about me that I didn't know. There's things that I like to do that that I probably didn't do because that's not what everybody else did. There's probably certain foods that you would probably like to try, but it's not something that that everybody in your family, that your grandmother or your mother cooked. But so venture out and spend some time with yourself to find out who you are, because your spirit didn't just come here just to be just trying to populate the earth. There was a purpose. Everybody has a purpose, and so you have to find out what that purpose is. And it comes through trial and error, and it takes time. And those of us that do have knowledge of the self, I just say sometimes we have to be patient with others, because everybody's on different levels, and so people are not where you are as far as your mindset, as far as your cultural awareness, as far as your education, and definitely as far as your spiritual knowledge of self. And so you it's important to, like Ms. Eunice said, that this is wonderful that that she's saying she's offering this class. And of course there's a cost because of the materials, time and knowledge, but that she's offering to compromise and to make a way for someone that, if you really want it, that is here for you. And that's how it is that that in life that your freedom is there for you. There's things that life is just there for you, and so if you would just take the time to find yourself and to see what the plan is, because man makes plan, but God's the best planner. And so if you take the time to find out who you are and not be about yourself, and just be open to what's just really here, energy, and to develop ourselves, you'll find that you really have a much more peaceful life. You'll be able to offer that peace to others, and ultimately, we would really have a better world. So yeah. It's just a wonderful thing. And so I just would publicly like to announce that I'm so grateful that during my journey of coming back and forth to Belize, that I've met people like Ms. Eunice, Mr. Bart, and it's wonderful that there is a community here of people who are wanting better, and we've left other places to come to a place of which I think that this is the way God intended it, because all of the fruitfulness of the fruits and the vegetables and the fresh air and the and everything, the water, all those things are here, and they're here, they're free. People laugh at me sometimes because I'm always looking. Oh, look at that plant! Look at that plant! And these are things that back in the U.S. I love plants, and I used to have to pay $15 or $20 for it. But now sometimes I can just go along the road and I see these things, and so I love it, and I'm blessed to be able to be here to partake in some of these things that I know that God has given us, and I'm grateful. I'm really grateful.
I've heard the term intentional living, and I think that's something that we encourage all of the listeners to think about, that nobody's going to be able to take charge of your life or except you, and I'm responsible for my life. Yes. I had an interesting experience some years ago. a Mennonite, a horse and buggy Mennonite. We always go by and we see them, but we think that they are living in a different world. Of course they are in some ways. But I guess they had somebody in the hospital and they needed a place to put their horses and to spend the night. And I had an extra cabin at the Maya Mountain Lodge. And they knew me and they came up and they said, well, would you give us a chance to maybe exchange something for a place to stay? And I did. And the next morning at breakfast, he says, you know, Bart, our life is intentional, you know, and people make fun of us sometimes, or they think we're strange or this and that, but we're actually being very intentional in what we do, and so we do it because we believe in it, and we're willing to share it. You know, it sort of just took me by surprise a little bit, because I realized I also was sort of compartmentalizing them a little bit, you know, and then I thought about my own life. You know, am I intentional? Am I willing to make sacrifices to be intentional in what I eat and what I say and my relationships? And so, you know, those little opportunities come in life. Eunice, let's give you a chance on this one. I know a little bit about you, and I know that you're very intentional in your life. But maybe, what would you like to share with the audience, if you don't mind?
Well, for me, living by intention is putting it out there, knowing that universe has everything, and walking with confidence, living every moment that I know that my needs will be provided for. So therefore, I don't have to worry. And that's the main thing. That's the way I live. That's the way I operate. And, you know, sometimes people will come and say, oh, I don't have this and I don't have that. But the thing of it is, if we put it out there with a good heart, it will manifest. And, you know, I can be on a soapbox, and I'm trying to hold myself back because it's a huge subject. And there are people who do not live by intention. Every day they have to know a reason why. You know, there are things that we wouldn't know. But if we step out, whether you call it faith or you call it intention or you call it whatever, then it will happen in your life. And we want to encourage not only the older people. I know lots of the people who are over 60 that they have gone their path and they know, they understand. But the younger people, the working class people, put it out there. I know for people who are working in somebody else's office, sometimes you don't want to really participate or do the things that the majority is doing. But put your faith out there. Whether it's by prayer or meditation, or you can be just walking and doing something, whether it's in your job or at home or something, and you know, just have that intention that yes, I will be taken care of. My needs are going to be met. My children are going to be happy, and they're going to be healthy. You know, so walk in faith and just love. We may not like things that people are doing or saying, but we have to love them. That's the law. That's the law that God has given us, and therefore we have to do it. So, love each other, love one another, love yourself, and try to improve in every day. Have a goal and try to reach it. Okay, love you all.
It's been really nice to be on this program here with you too, and we do look forward to your returning. We're going to be closing off in about 2 minutes or 3 minutes, and at the end there's going to be a video played. Those of you who are following on TV, and that video is showing something my family is doing at the Maya Mountain Wellness Center. They're actually educational classes on lifestyle change. A lot of people have had their doctors tell them, change your lifestyle or you will not be living another 2 years or 3 years. Usually the wife says to the husband, who's been the one who's been ignoring his health, I'm just generalizing, but
Yes,
it's often this way.
true.
And, we've got to change our ways. But it's hard. We don't know how to cook healthy. And so we are doing a number of different classes, but the most popular one is one that is wellness cooking. People come in at 8 o'clock and they go home at 2, and we help them prepare a healthy meal and teach them the basic principles. And of course it's a beginning, but it's surprising how much you can get in. And we also eat a nice meal that we've prepared together. And that time is very precious, and we often stay in touch. They come back and take other classes. We get into things like oils, safe oils, choices of pesticide-free produce versus the things that are sprayed. We talk about whole grains versus empty carbohydrates. That's the white rice. A lot of people don't realize it, but the white rice is probably the main cause for most of the diabetes in our country. And our grandparents probably used brown rice. It wasn't like this white rice refined that we have today, that we're saying is normal rice and beans. It's actually what has evolved. Culture is that way. It stabilizes things, but it does evolve.
Yes.
And evolves fairly quickly sometimes. Last night at the Maya Mountain Lodge, one of our watchmen, Mr. Pablo, came up and he did a 30-minute program on the Mopan Maya. And he has helped us to get about a half a ton of milpa organic rice and also mata. So we had our visitors from abroad. They were so curious to see how you take this rice and you beat it with this pole, and it breaks up, and then you throw the sheaf away, and you've got whole grain rice. And we were able to get that for just over $1 a pound. You go and buy the Goya organic, or just the Goya brown rice. It's not even organic, and it's like $4.85. And that's pretty expensive to have whole grain. But there are options here in Belize that we wouldn't have in North America. And so, I left 41 years ago. I'm really happy to be here. So anyway, I will tell you that right as we close off, there will be a video for those following. If not, if you'd like to contact me, my number is 674-1919. And again, this program is Let's Live Healthy Belize. You can also message me there, and we can interact. And if you're interested in the courses or anything that we're doing, or just to visit and do a tour of our organic gardens, you're welcome to contact me at 674-1919. My email is Bart, B-A-R-T, 1844@gmail.com. And so I guess we're going to sign off until next Wednesday at 8 o'clock. This is, go ahead, Zinga. She wants one more comment for sure.
Ms. Eunice forgot to mention, and Ms. Eunice has been here for over like 17, 18 years, and she has the Holistic Institute there, and she wants to open to the community to let people know if there are different types of practice modalities, massage, reflexology, colonics, stuff like that. Her clinic is open.
Oh, okay.
So if you're doing something, whether it's physical fitness, if you want to have a facility to be able to bring your clients to, that you could come and use her clinic.
Okay, so if you are a healer or you have a facility to offer to others,
modality, you could come to Ms. Eunice and you could use her facilities. Just make arrangements to speak to her about that. So
terrific.
So please give her a call at 650-2252. That sometimes you need to have a place to deal with your clientele, but you're not quite there, with having that type of service. So just wanted to mention that. Yes, people want to volunteer to come, so it's open.
This is exciting. So thank you so much. Until next week.
Thank you, Bart, for having us.
This is Bart at Let's Live Healthy Belize, and have a blessed week, everybody.
Today we will cook Belizean, healthy and easy, with more veggies instead of more starch.
It's healthier, of course. Cost effective, is very cheap. Go to the market, buy your fresh veggies and cook it easy and tasty recipes.
As Belizeans, we don't really eat healthy, a lot of us. We have a lot of diabetic patients. People are dying a lot. What I learned today, how to eat, how to stay healthy and what to do about it.
A lot of people call in and say, we're good for headache. They want a quick fix, but headache actually is a red light telling you something is wrong. But sometimes we don't study it, we just take our pills. You can't just change overnight, right? So you have to implement this stuff little by little.
Making some healthy brown rice with healthy salt, not the white salt that we normally cook with.
The vegetables and everything that we serve, we think pure, whole and natural.
To me, you could do this real quick.
Yep.
You know, it's very quick to do.
Today we show them to stay pure, whole and natural.
Here we teach them how to fix vegetables and fruits in a delicious way so they can have it.
A lot of people don't know how to use it, but today I learned that I'm taking something in my heart to teach to my family and my community.
They actually cook it and they taste it. They were very impressed and they say, wow, this is really delicious and we never think this can be done. And we are encouraging people to come here at Maya Mountain and we will gladly share what we know.
When certain things happen, we have to take a stand and see what happens.